The best and worst car deals for the month of July 2026. There are some car deals you should run away from, absolutely avoid. And then are some other car deals that the manufacturers and dealers are desperate to sell cars right now, and they're giving you thousands, tens of thousands of dollars to sell their cars. Let's jump through them, Pops.
Sounds good to me, because I don't know, there could be up to 18,000 reasons to be doing something.
So we're going to break this video up into a few pieces. First, we're going to start off with the universal avoids. These are just bad deals right now. The manufacturer is not giving you a lot of incentives, and dealers aren't discounting them significantly. So these are the perceived deals that aren't deals. You ready?
Yes.
Skip the Buick Envista, skip the Buick Encore GX and Envision, skip the Dodge Charger, skip the Chevy Blazer EV, skip the Chevy Equinox EV, skip the Ford Mustang Mach-E, skip the Ford Escape, skip the Volvo XC40, skip the Volvo XC60, skip the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, skip the Mitsubishi Outlander, skip the Lincoln Corsair, and skip the Jeep Compass. If there's something in common with all of these, we'll break them down just a little bit. One, there's a huge oversupply of inventory, but two, there's not a big incentive from the manufacturers or huge discounts from dealers on these vehicles. For some reason, Dad, these manufacturers and these dealers are just okay with all those vehicles we listed just sitting on their lots for months and months and months.
Well, in some cases, they're teaser ads that make it seem like good deals, but when you dig into the math, they're not really good deals. The one thing I know for sure is if you skip all those deals, you're getting a heck of a lot of exercise, because there's a heck of a lot of skipping going on.
So some of these bad deals, the Buick Envista, for example, the reason this is a bad deal, it might look good on the surface. $159 a month for a car payment sounds great. But for this 24-month lease, you have to bring almost $6,000 in cash down at the table. When you factor in taxes, fees, and everything else, you're going to spend $10,500 on this $26,000 vehicle. You're going to spend 40% of its value for driving it for 24 months. In no world is that a fair deal for a Buick Envista.
Well, it's a fair deal if you're the Buick dealer.
Another one we called out here, the Dodge Charger. This is the slowest selling car in the United States of America. We reviewed 159 models this month, and this is truly the worst selling one in terms of velocity. $0 in incentives from the manufacturer on this. It just makes no sense right now.
Yeah, especially for a vehicle that's been discontinued. You think that the manufacturer and the dealer would do just about anything to rid themselves of that vehicle.
Another example of a very slow selling vehicle with no manufacturer support. The reason it's on this list, the Ford Mustang Mach-E. This is a prior model year back at this point, yet still no incentives from the manufacturer. And Volvo getting in on the fun. We mentioned the XC40 and XC60. Both of these have over a 100 days supply, meaning it would take over 100 days to sell out of Volvo inventory in the United States. Manufacturers want this number closer to 60. And there are really no incentives on these vehicles. $0 in cash incentives for retail purchases, $0 in lease incentives, on the XC40, and $1,750 in lease incentives on the XC60. Just not enough to move these vehicles.
No, I'm pretty sure they'll have just about the same number of them available in August.
Those are the worst. Let's talk about the best. First, let's start with the retail purchases. These are going to be cash and finance incentives, not the lease deals. We'll touch on the lease deals in just a second. First and foremost, Nissan. They're the big winner if you want to get a deal in the month of July. Many of their vehicles, 4 of them, have 0% financing for 60 months. We're talking about the Nissan Frontier, Nissan Rogue, Nissan Murano, and the Nissan Pathfinder, all getting you 0% financing for up to 60 months or big cash incentives from the manufacturer. So if you're thinking of purchasing a car in July, not leasing, purchasing, Nissan has to be an option that you're looking at, right, Dad?
I would think so. They're trying to be very, very aggressive. I think they've come off 15 straight months of improved sales year over year, and they want to keep that streak going. They're making a comeback, and well, they figured out the way to do it. You pay people to come buy your cars.
Yeah, these are huge incentives from Nissan trying to get folks to purchase the Frontier, Rogue, Murano, and Pathfinder. So again, if you're buying a car this July, these are options that you really need to consider. Next, we have the Ram 1500 Bighorn and Lone Star trims. We've got over $7,000 in retail cash right now as an option on these vehicles, or 0% financing through 60 months. So there are over 85,000 of these units out there in the market as of this moment. Dealers are going to give you a big discount, plus you're going to get all this cash on top of it from the manufacturer or the 0% financing. So really, you're looking at least 20% off MSRP on a 1500 Bighorn Lone Star. That's a good deal in today's market.
Oh, absolutely it is. And if you're not getting 20% off between the manufacturer and the dealer, don't take the deal. There are dealers out there that'll give you that and perhaps a tiny bit more.
The Ford F-150 is another one that falls into our best retail buy category. $1,500 in customer cash right now and APRs as low as 3.9%. There are 80,000 F-150s for sale nationwide right now. You're shooting for 10 to 13% off MSRP on most of the popular trims. Negotiate hard with the dealer and obviously pick up on those manufacturer incentives, including the interest rate, if you're going to buy it.
Yes. Once again, if you're not getting 10 to 13% off, you're not buying. Go look at that Dodge. Go look at that Ram and forget the Ford.
Then two options from Hyundai. We have the Santa Fe that has $1,500 in cash incentives from the manufacturer, plus a 0% financing offer up to 60 months. You're shooting for 79% off MSRP there. Or leftover 2025 Hyundai Palisade calligraphies. They're on clearance right now, Dad. $6,500 in cash incentives, or get $4,500 in cash incentives and 0% financing for 72 months. This is the prior model year, 2025s, not the 2026. You can get a heck of a deal on one of these leftover 2025s.
It's almost like you're at Kmart and, well, they're stacking them deep and selling them cheap. So be sure when you hit your Hyundai dealer, you work them for a good deal.
Last but not least, let's round out with the best lease deals out there right now. No teaser deals here. These are the real thing. Hyundai Ioniq 9 SE trim. We are talking $18,000 in lease cash, meaning a reduction from the capitalized cost. So an $18,000 cash incentive from the manufacturer for the Ioniq 9. This is one of the biggest lease cash incentives we've ever seen.
Oh, absolutely. We were amazed when we were seeing $10,000 and $12,000, but to go upwards of $18,000 to help move an EV along, that's a staggering sum of money that they've thrown at it to help you lease that vehicle.
Yeah, and again, to be clear here, this is just reducing the capitalized cost. So what you're actually paying every month for the lease. This is $18,000 from the manufacturer saying, hey, we're going to help you reduce the actual price of that lease every single month and over the entire duration of the term. So this is a huge incentive from the manufacturer. Now, the Kia EV9 also is getting in on the fun, a $12,000 lease cash incentive. Same on the Kia Niro EV Wave, $12,000 in lease cash there. Honda getting in on the fun as well with an $8,500 lease cash. So they're trying to push the Honda Prologue out the door as well. And then Toyota, Dad. It's the best non-EV lease on the market right now. Now, there's no big lease cash incentive from the manufacturer, but Toyota dealers are discounting anywhere from 10 to 14% on this vehicle right now. And it's a Toyota, so it's going to be worth a decent amount of its residual value at the end of that lease term. This is your best non-EV lease option that we're seeing in the market right now.
Yeah, they're suggesting that this is only going to depreciate 26% in 3 years, which is an unbelievably low amount of depreciation, which is what allows them to come through with a really strong lease program.
Now, we've got some sedans that we want to mention as well when it comes to lease deals. The Genesis G70 2.5 rear-wheel drive, $2,500 in lease cash, plus you can get an additional $1,000 if you have a competitive brand that you're currently driving that you're going to get out of. There's a big incentive here from Genesis to move over to their vehicles. Same with Hyundai. They have some incentives on the Elantra SE and SEL Sport, $3,250 in lease cash there. Plus on the Tucson, you can get up to $4,750 in lease incentives. And last but not least, the Santa Fe, $5,000 in lease incentives there if you end up leasing a Santa Fe. So Hyundai getting pretty aggressive here when it comes to leasing.
There are some good programs out there for July, some okay programs, and some programs you need to stay away from. And I think we've pretty much covered them all here for you right now.
We've got even more data, however, back at caredge.com/4th, the number 4 then TH. So check that out back on the website. And Pops, we'll be back next month with the best and worst for August as well.
I certainly hope so.